Hello and good morning, everyone. It is Friday, and we have been once more summoned to Super Earth, so it is time for us to go and save the galaxy. I've been talking to a lot of people, but I ordered some Super Earth action figures. I'm very, very excited to get to play with those here soon whenever they ship. So let's check out what's going on in the war. We haven't played in a little bit, so we're behind on the war. So what's going on in the Galactic War right now? Let's see. More bugs, it looks like. Defend Zygos, personal order. Yep. And everyone's there. Okay, let's go punch some bugs right in the face. How about that? Happy Friday, everyone. It is already a weekend of May. We're almost halfway through the year. It's almost my favorite time of year, and that is when we get to turn on Christmas music and start listening to Christmas music. So we're slowly making it to the Christmas season once more. What are we gonna do to take care of the bugs? We could go with like a fiery build. We do enjoy a good fire build for the bugs. We got our crossbow. We've got resistance to fire and acid. Let's put that on. And let's see. What should we do for the bugs this time? Let's grab a turret. Let's grab how about a jump pack and a machine gun? Haven't done that in a little bit. We'll grab the machine gun. Yeah. All right, basic build. Very, very basic. Here we go. You should see how angry my cat is with me. He just walked out of the room. Oh, I forgot to turn on my camera. Okay, maybe that'll be better. There we go. And my lights. I'm all over the place today. We had to take our cat to the vet recently, and they told him that he was too large. So we've been practicing a diet. He is not a fan of said diet, so he's a little upset at us, and I get it, I feel it, I understand it, but the hardest thing is he doesn't understand, right? Like they don't have the ability to reason and understand like humans do. So you just want to give him all the food he could possibly eat because he doesn't understand why he can't just eat all the food, right? But you gotta do it. So we are slowly working on losing that weight. All right, we got a whole group joining us, so let's machine gun down some bugs. Very nice. All right, they're calling for reinforcements already. This is what we wanted. We did not realize there was going to be... Are those stalkers? No, those are just predators. Okay. Nice. Let's reload. Oh, maybe not. Yeah. That did not work out as well as I thought it would, but there we go. Here we go. Welcome in, everyone. But yeah, I'm putting it together. So I got 4 Helldivers action figures. They went on pre-order. I got 4 Helldivers action figures, and we are going to make a stop-motion squad. So I am accepting all recommendations for names for my Helldivers squad. Looking for, because if you're around my age, you probably watched Red vs. Blue at some point. That's kind of like the inspiration I'm going for, is a Red vs. Blue styled comedy squad with a little bit of story, a little bit of heart, something like that. So if you've got any ideas, I will gladly take them as we're putting together our fun little squad here. One person has requested that we name one York. I think we can work with York. I really want to have a capeless one of the figures. I'm going to rip the cape off of it and call it maybe like Rookie, Cadet. Tiet, Win, welcome. Good morning. How's it going today? So I want to play with that. I definitely want to have a capeless Rookie, someone eager to earn their cape finally. That's a very Rookie Helldiver thing. Want to do that. I think because everyone's, how you got like L4, S3, X2, L1. I think maybe I'm going to have the explosives expert be C4, because like that matches the naming convention, but it could also be a fun pun on explosives, you know? So maybe that'll be another character will be C4 as an homage to the naming conventions in the game. I think that one would be a funny and work well. So if you've got any suggestions, I will gladly take them all. There's one eat here. I don't feel like one eat is enough to blow that up. Yeah, that was kind of a waste, but that's okay.
There's something here. Calling in an eagle.
Toss that up and over there. Alright, that's one more problem solved. Look at us go. What's going on today, Mr. Wynn? Anything new? Anything exciting? It's almost the weekend. Any big plans? I was looking, it looks like the Iris festivals for our area have started, so I'm debating about going to the Iris festivals, getting some flower pictures, you know. I'm not the best at it. Mo, good morning. I'm not the best flower photo kind of person, but I do enjoy flower photography. I never in a million years thought I would be a flower photographer, but I do enjoy flower photography now. Especially, I've got a flash, and the flash works really well with getting like those really rich colors, but also making sure that everything is like black around it. It's just very, very good. So I've been playing with the flash and flower. So maybe we'll go to the Iris Festival this weekend. That could be a good time. I think that eagle is well placed. That should... That almost blew me up. That was not well placed. That was absolutely awful, eagle. What are you doing out here? I don't think these grenades hurt. Oh, they do. Wow, look at that. You learn something new every day. All right. And a little bit of machine gun action. I know the machine guns are seen as boring, but there is something so satisfying about just having a million bullets and just firing them down range. You know, it's just it satisfies. It tickles that part of the like the monkey neuron activation brain meme. Like it just hits just right when you just mow them all down. Let's grab some samples. We have not been grabbing samples. We have not been good about grabbing samples. So let's grab some samples and go take out this hive.
Requesting sentry.
Y'all are very quiet today. What's up with that? Dex must not have joined us yet. Usually Dex is out here talking with us. Alright. That worked well. Blow his leg off. Perfect. Ooh. Dude was a little spicy. He didn't want to go down there, but we got it. We got it. We could probably hit that from here. Yeah. And that one. Oh, that charger. Oh wait, he's dead. Like he's threatening me for a second there. All right, I don't want to get too cocky, but these guys are making this this match a little bit too easy. We're kind of just rocking through this. No, I want to go over. Well, that works too. Life has many doors, Ed boys. We can make our own ways through. Alright, looks like the team's gonna go do some POIs. That's okay. We're gonna... Oh, they're on top of calling in reinforcements, too. Those guys are just all over it. Oh, X2 died all the way down there doing nothing. I don't know what that guy was out there doing, but... Hopefully he died doing what he loved, I guess. Alright, we got a big hole right there. We got a Bile Titan. Maybe Eagle can hit him. He's going to take a second to turn around, so hopefully Eagle can get in there and solve that problem. Dude zapped the corpse. That guy was long gone by the time you fired that off. That was a little unnecessary. Little war crime adjacent, I feel like. I don't think you're supposed to be shooting up corpses of enemy combatants. How would you make a good Superman game? It would be tough. It would be very tough because either A, because the whole thing about Superman is Superman's super powerful. He's basically all powerful. His dilemmas come from him not wanting to use his force to harm people, right? His things are Boy Scout problems. It's morality issues. It's ethics issues. It's balancing your use of power against people who don't have powers. So either A, to make him feel like he has not as much power, you would have to do a story like Superman losing all of his powers and slowly regaining them, or you'd have to give every single random thug access to kryptonite, which is boring. It's very boring in Superman stories when every single random thug seems to have a jar of kryptonite laying around, you know? I definitely don't like those stories. So I think they should avoid that. I think rather than giving every random person a bunch of kryptonite, they could try and make it so Superman is super powerful and make it like morality issues. So make it so, you know how a lot of early games did like the whole like, oh, your choices really matter, and we found out our choices never really mattered. But if they could make a game where your choices legitimately mattered, so it's not about the gameplay and the fighting as much as it is actually about the choices you make and the morality you make, like make it so that you can only fly to one area and save one person, but then the other person suffers because of it. Give you like moral choices like that, even if you feel super overpowered, which is completely okay. I think you can make a good game that way. Like if you look at Diablo 3 and Diablo 4, your characters are ridiculously overpowered, right? There's no... But people don't get upset about the ridiculous overpower because it's not about feeling weak. It's about slaying hordes and hordes of demons. So if they went in that same route where we acknowledge that Superman is super powerful, super overpowered, then we can focus on other things that make Superman interesting, like morality. Or just give him Batman as an opponent, right? Do a Batman versus Superman game. And just have Batman always being one step ahead of Superman. I think you could make some interesting villain arc there. So those are the two ways that I would make a Superman game. Basically, as long as your Superman game doesn't involve flying through rings, you're already going to make a better Superman game than 90% of the Superman games that exist out there, right? So, like, the bar is really, really low. You know what else is an interesting game? I just saw that they are putting together a Dungeons & Dragons TTRPG game, but it's set as a roguelike game. So it's meant to be played in short, small bursts, and your characters are meant to gather big gear and power up and be super overpowered, but then eventually die. And then you start all the way over at the beginning. I think that's a really interesting potential mechanic for a game. So I'm interested to see how that goes because I love roguelikes. Roguelites are my favorite style of games. So the fact that they're making a D&D style one, I'm very excited to see what they can possibly kind of put together with that. So very excited for that. Sorry, dude. I only have explosives here. I can't be much help. Let's call in some defense, a jetpack. But I don't want a Superman game. I've never really liked Superman. You know what I would like? There are two games I would love. If we're talking about just superheroes, I would absolutely love to get a Green Lantern game. I feel like there's a lot you could do with Green Lantern. I feel like Green Lantern would be an awesome game. So I would absolutely love if we could get a Green Lantern based video game. It'll probably never happen, but I love Green Lantern enough that I wish it would happen. I like Green Lantern. But the other game I always thought would be super interesting would be a game based on the alchemy from Full Metal Alchemist. Having a game where like your abilities and powers depend on like what biomes you're standing on. So if you're standing like in a forest and you're touching grass and trees, you get access to certain abilities. But if you move to like a desert and you have like sand and rock, you get a lot of different abilities that way. I always thought that would be a super interesting game. I'm also very shocked we have never gotten a good Avatar: The Last Airbender game. Like, Avatar: The Last Airbender has one of the best magic systems and world building I've ever seen, and every single game they release, they continue to flub left and right somehow. Did they add a shield there? There's a couple shields in the game. Yeah, there's a personal shield you can wear. There's a Spartan-style shield you can wield with a javelin. There's a couple shields in the game. Like, I understand that Avatar: The Last Airbender is technically targeted towards younger audiences, so maybe that's why they flub it, because there's always going to be that belief of, oh, this is for children, so it doesn't have to be good or well made because it's for children. But I'm not a big believer in that, right? Children deserve good video games too, and we could definitely use a good Avatar: The Last Airbender game. Oh, you're next to your... I think that's your mod shield, because you're a super mod. Remember, you have super mod powers, so I think you get a super mod shield. Like, I'm trying to think of some kids' video games. I know Bluey had a couple games came out that weren't too bad. And Mario games, obviously, are decent for children, and those are typically well made, although the older ones are arguably better. Same thing with like Pokemon. Like, even though Pokemon hasn't made a good game in forever, besides Pokopia, a mainline Pokemon game hasn't been good since like Emerald probably being the last good Pokemon game. They really need to revitalize that. I only want that if I can ban other mods. I mean, you might have the power to ban other mods, but none of the other mods show up half the time, so what would be the point of that? I think the only one... Bubble does when Bubble's not working, but... You are my most loyal mod, Dex. That's why you get a shield. See a couple new lurkers hang out. Hello, new lurkers. How's it going today? Feel free to lurk or join in the conversations. We're talking about superhero video games, vet bills, Italy, whatever you guys want to talk about today. I'm all over the place today. We're gonna go take some photos of flowers later today. We're talking about going to the Iris Festival, so maybe some photography on the horizon. I really need to lock in my choices. The State Fair is coming up, and I really want to win the State Fair. I say that every year. I really need to lock in what choices I'm going to be presenting to the State Fair for my photography. Ooh, nice shot. That guy got blown up. Reload faster. He's coming for me. He's coming for me. I also saw a couple clips of the new season of South Park. And while, you know, I think South Park is probably past its prime. Oh, that landed closer than I thought. I do think that they are doing some good work in South Park recently. Some of the seasons, like with Jesus in the School, the Labubu episode, they've still got some stuff in there, you know, unlike Family Guy, The Simpsons, American Dad, which seem to have all run out of ideas and are just running on clout at this point. I think South Park still has a little bit of the mojo that made them special back in the day. Not quite as good, but still decent. There are certainly worse shows out there. We need... Oh, fly away. That guy's got a grenade launcher and he's not afraid to use it. There we go. Got that guy. Jump away and fire. I also got the Diablo 4 expansion. I promised Blizzard, I said if you add the Paladin, I will come back to Diablo. And they finally added the Paladin. And it's decent. I just hit endgame, so I'm still waiting to give it a full review, but I'm pretty happy with how it is so far. I think South Park is dumb. Defend your thesis. What proof do you have of South Park being dumb? Because South Park has always been pretty intelligent, at least in some of their jokes. Some of the stuff like Mr. Hanky and Tally, of course, is pretty low tier, but they've also got some pretty good satire in there. So defend your opinion, Dex. I challenge you. I cannot defend Mr. Hanky, though. Mr. Hanky and Tally are indeed the worst characters ever conceived, and I will die on that hill also. I hate the "don't forget to bring a towel" dumbest joke ever. Oh, miss. Oh, come on. My reload failed. That's one of those bugs. I know the game is in the process of being review bombed again. That's one of those bugs that has been around forever that I absolutely hate, and that is occasionally when you reload the crossbow, for whatever reason, it will decide to only reload it with one bullet. And I do not know why it decides to do that, but sometimes it just says, you know what, you get one bullet, and that's it. We need ammo. I think it's always been lowbrow. I hate it when things just want to shock people, especially if there's actual talent. Okay, they definitely, in the first couple seasons, when their idea was, hey, how about we make a show about a couple loudmouth boys who scream profanities at each other? I definitely agree the first few seasons are super rough on that and super lowbrow, but I definitely think they hit their stride a little bit later when they started really focusing on the satire and political jokes and all those sort of things. So it depends. If you watch the first 5 seasons, I would agree with that. It's lowbrow, it's vulgar, there's not a whole lot to it. But I think season, especially once they got to Butters, once they added Butters, I think was very, very well done. Episodes like Faith Plus One, where they're abusing the music industry to take advantage of Christians to make money off of really garbage music. Hilarious and poignant. I think PC Principal, the first season with PC Principal was absolutely hilarious and good. Especially when they brought in Macho Man Randy Savage to be the trans athlete and losing at board games. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. Let's see. What are we doing here? That was a nice shot. I just took out 5 guys with one bullet. That was pretty good. There we go. I wish they would stop making Family Guy, though. I agree with all the purists who say that the first 3 seasons of Family Guy are the only good seasons of Family Guy, and that it's definitely just continued to go downhill. Same thing with American Dad. Like, the second that American Dad added Rogu, you knew that it was over, right? Like that's such a cliche when a cartoon or a TV series had, let's mix it up by adding a new character in. That's how you know, yep, that series is over. Quality is on a steady decline now. The second you have to start adding new characters to shake up stories and make it exciting, you know that show is over. The only time a mid-season character has ever worked that I can think of is when they added Toph to Avatar The Last Airbender, because Toph was an amazing addition. And even though I don't like the show, I acknowledge when they added Frank to It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia was a huge turning point for them as well. And I guess in Parks and Rec, when they got rid of Brandanowitz and they started adding in Rob Lowe and whatever Ben is, those 2 characters really saved that show. Like, in my opinion, if you want to watch Parks and Rec, the best way to watch Parks and Rec is to skip the first season and just jump right into season 2. There's really nothing of value in the first season, like, at all. Just start on season 2, episode 1. That is the better way to experience Parks and Rec. Good TV series, though. I also like Brooklyn Nine-Nine up until they definitely went way too hard when they got their final season. They went way too hard into, look, we acknowledge cops bad. Look, wokeness. I'm not one of those streamers who screams like, go woke, get broke. It's woke, it's awful. But they definitely leaned way too heavily into that and really ruined a lot of great characters over all of that. So that I try to ignore that last season of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. 6, 4, 4, 5, 2. And here we go. I also need ideas on my Helldivers action figures, how to make each one of them unique. You know, they all look the same because it's all the same action figure. They said they'll be making more later, and I'll definitely grab those when I can. But in the meantime, I'm going to have to do like some battle damaging or accessories to really make the characters show as different. Like Rookie/Cadet won't have his cape, so he'll stand out that way. He'll have some nice shiny armor. But I'm going to have to like battle damage the other characters, I feel like, to really make them pop. So I'm taking any ideas on that as well, if anyone has any ideas on how to make that work well. Let's do that. Let's rearm our Eagle since we will need that for a second. It's part of the reason I barely mess with social media anymore. Everyone is trying to out-discuss the last person for virality. SpongeBob has been the worst about that. Like, SpongeBob always had a little bit of gross out humor and like they're really bad panels, but lately it seems like every episode they're just going for like a torture porn sort of aesthetic. Speaking of social media, I wish Bubble was here to talk about this one. Yesterday, some teacher posted in the teacher forum. They caught their class of 5th graders watching a 40-minute video that was just the Bluey intro over and over and over again, but every time it would go through the intro, it would like invert the colors, or it would change it, it would distort it, it would high pitch them. It was just 40 minutes of the Bluey intro over and over and over, going mom, 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 mom. And the teacher said, I think my kids are stupid, and not like I'm insulting them, but like literally these kids are so dumb that they're watching this. And I wanted people's opinions. Like, a part of me feels like it's not watching an overstimulating nonsense video doesn't necessarily mean the kids are dumb, right? Like, It's certainly some brain rot stupidity. I don't disagree with that, but I don't necessarily know that it makes the kids dumb, you know? That's what... I don't know if dumb's the right word to describe them for. It was an absolute garbage video, and I'm super mad that that 40-minute video of all stolen artwork and absolute garbage is performed better than anything I've ever made. That always frustrates me, but I don't know if I'd call the kids stupid for watching it, so I wanted some opinions on that.
Dropping a pin, west, 300 meters.
I also need to get a vehicle, I think, for my squad. I think we're gonna need to get like a Tonka truck to carry the squad in. Not talking about the Ren and Stimpy style art, I'm talking about being the cringe. The Ren and Stimpy art, I loved Ren and Stimpy as a kid and young adult, but going back and watching it now, it's one of those shows that I don't understand how, even the clean version that wasn't the adult made one, it was just so gross. I'm over the gross out. Everything has to be boogers, poops, and fart. I am over that. I will say though, when it does come to the potty humor, I do ashamedly admit I enjoy the TikTok trend of using the fart spray and pranking your partner and being like, I have a tummy ache, and then fart spraying them and getting their reactions. I will say I do find the absolute humor in that. I'm ashamed of it, but I do see the humor in that. But that's where I draw the line. I did finally watch the Manosphere also, Dex. That was disgusting in a lot of ways. I really liked the way that the documentary presenter made the documentary, though. I'm very, very impressed with his style, and in the end, it worked, right? Like one of the girls who was dating one of the loser Manosphere dudes ended up dumping him after the interview and after having a talk with him. So like his documentary, to me, that's a rousing success. You successfully saved an innocent woman from that horrible life. So like, successful documentary. Dude did a great job. I'm so happy for her that she escaped. Also, I saw that they're trying to make, I know you've been enjoying like Love is Blind and all the really garbage reality TV dating series. Apparently they are doing a Mormon-y, Utah-based Christian dating game show coming up next. So you're about to get your fill of very garbage reality TV series when that comes out. So be prepared for that. I know you're excited for it. I know you like your garbage TV. Also, you'll not be watching that. Oh, come on, Dex. You love bad dating shows. What's not to love? Why won't you give that one a chance? Is it because they're Christian? You gonna be hateful like that? Dex out here with a little Jesus phobia. After the Taylor Frankie poll on Over Mormons, I don't know anything about that. I was thinking this morning, though, you know how Catholics and Orthodox have monks? Why do you never see other denominations having monks? Like, why are there no Mormon monks? Why are there no, like, Methodist monks? It feels like Catholics are the only ones with monks.
Allied destroyer has left squadron.
I'd be really curious to see what a Mormon monk would look like.
Hellpods prime. Engaging orbital thrusters.
Alright, we're going to retrieve some data.
Orbit synchronized.
What about a Jehovah Witness monk? I don't think that's possible either.
Hellpod launch suspended.
Come on, get in your Hellpod, dude.
Destroyer has left
Or not.
squadron.
Okay, well. What are y'all doing? There we go. Okay. Let's shake it up again. We're gonna grab the acclimated, and we're going to grab a. We're gonna go with some fire here. So we're gonna grab the hot dog. Now let's grab dog breath and the sterilizer. Let's do it that way. No. Dog breath, flamethrower. There we go. And let's change you out for the torture. Okay.
Hellpod
Fire.
initiated.
Like a Beavis and Butthead episode. Welcome in, everyone. I see a few new people lurking. Welcome in. We're hell diving. We're talking about Christian dating shows, and apparently Christian energy drinks is the newest grift. Apparently every Christian influencer is out there making energy drinks right now that are lion based or Jesus based in some way. And you know, I don't have a problem with Christian art. Obviously, I love like the icons. I love when people create beautiful paintings of God and the angels and all of that. But like, when someone takes a product like a candy bar or an energy drink and slaps Jesus on it and says, well, now you Christians have to buy this because this is the only Christian energy drink, it feels really gross. You know, like it feels very exploitative.
Deploying SOS beacon.
So I'm definitely not a fan of seeing those keep popping up. All right, dog breath. Let's do some light war criming here. Those guys just popped out of nowhere. That was not fair. There he is. Capitalism exploitative, never. I don't know, every time there's a Christian company that comes up across my feed, the first thing I do is I ask myself, does this look like a real Christian company? So, you know, I read their like about them, I read their process, all that sort of thing to kind of get a feel for, are they in this for the money, or okay, my stuff got stuck on a tree apparently. Are they making a legitimate product out of faith? You know, that's always a very important question for me, and more times than not, it definitely feels like, okay, you're going the Christian angle because you want to make money, not because you actually value or care about any of this. They're advertising for a reason. I mean, not necessarily, right? Like, just because a company advertises doesn't mean that they're not believing in their product or they're doing something wrong, right? Like, advertising is sometimes that's just the only way to get seen, right? That's the whole thing about how I have to advertise my channel to have a chance to even be seen. Basic, thank you. I like my art very much as well. I have thought about changing out the Waffle Knight. You can see a lot of my logos have the Waffle Knight, and I have thought about replacing the Waffle Knight in recent thoughts have gone that way, but I haven't made a decision on that yet. But definitely one of the best decisions I made was hiring a real artist to come in and make some art. Because, like, I could definitely AI some stuff like this pretty easily, but the Waffle Knight is iconic. I clicked because of him. Good to know. Good. We'll keep the Waffle Knight around then. I just hate that he always gets people always think that he is the one dude from Dark Souls. The Praise the Sun dude, Voltaire.
Reporting to the front.
I don't play enough Dark Souls to know what he actually is. Solar, yeah, him. Everyone always mixes him up for Solar.
Hey!
Alright, we burned that dude to a crisp. Down he goes. Let's go take care of some spores. Got a golden egg, that's so sick. Thank you.
Sending in an eagle.
Alright, can we get this guy's attention? Hey, come over here. No, we missed. Wait. Okay, we got him on the leg. That should have hurt him a little bit. Now we can... Yeah. Let's see. Let's log into the terminal. Thank you, Basic. I really appreciate that. That's the little boost I needed this morning. We're also about ready to hit 7,600, which is, good. That's 100 new followers we've gained. 600 since the start of the year, so we're growing. But I did make a goal at the start of the year to saying let's hit 10,000 followers this year. And based on our growth rate, I think that may have been a little optimistic, let's call it. The awesome part is, like, this is just random Fiverr art. Like, I just scrolled through Fiverr and found an artist, and they just were incredible. I also had a Fiverr artist who used to make us, he made me a theme song, and he made sound effects for the channel, and then he disappeared, and that was the biggest bummer. The dude who made our sound effects and our theme song was legendary. There's definitely some luck involved in finding the person. Also, like, there are so many people who are getting ripped off now by, like, Etsy artists who claim to be, like, Dungeons and Dragons artists who are just AIing. Like, could you imagine paying $50 or $100 for your character to be made for Dungeons and Dragons, and then finding out the dude just slapped together an AI character for you? Like, that's gotta feel the absolute worst. To know you wasted your money on some dude throwing in a ChatGPT and saying, hey, ChatGPT, can you make this person's character? That's gotta feel absolutely garbage.
Air support. Calling in reinforcements.
Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
I do enjoy, there's a subreddit called Is This AI, and it's a subreddit where people come together and try and look at art and determine whether or not it's AI art. And I gotta say, I really enjoy doing, like, the detective work on those, trying to figure out if a piece is AI or not. I really do enjoy being, like, an AI detective. It's a lot of fun trying to figure out, okay, like, these lines don't make sense, or these parts kind of blend together, and a real artist probably wouldn't make that mistake, so chances are this person's AI. Like, I really enjoy doing that artwork. Well, that was a bad move. Hopefully I at least killed the guy.
Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
Also, in good news, my wisdom teeth surgery went so well, and I'm healed up enough that yesterday I finally got to eat some good food. The last few days have been nothing but, like, mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese, really, really, really soft foods. And yesterday I was able to do a little bit more than that. I'll tell you that the steamed broccoli has come in clutch. Steaming broccoli into Oblivion worked really well. Jolie, where are you? You are in Saint Waffles stream. This is a place for terrible opinions and just a chill, fun way to start your day and talk about whatever. Yesterday I managed to eat my it's gonna sound gross, I know people hate on these, my soy chicken nuggets because I am vegetarian, so I got to enjoy my fake chicken nuggets. That was my big accomplishment. I will say, I know that people hated on them when they first came out. The technology has gotten so far. If you haven't had one recently, a Morningstar chicken nugget is an absolutely incredible experience. All right, Dex, you're gonna put me on. We have to put on the bad opinion glasses because you're gonna get me on a rant here. Bad opinion glasses on. Every vegetable is much better boiled to death. Give me an absolute mushy bowl of peas, carrots, and broccoli any day of the week. That is the superior way to eat and enjoy vegetables, is by boiling them to the point where you touch it with a fork and it just turns to mush. Vegetables are way better that way. You put a little salt on them and you just shovel them into your mouth. That is the proper way to enjoy a vegetable. We did try that with cabbage, though. I will say cabbage was still a little tough to eat. Cabbage was a little tough with the surgery still recovering. Why would I listen to your food takes? Because I dare to try things that most people wouldn't dare to try. That's the whole reason we have like math and science, is because people have dared to try things that no one else wanted to try, right? Like that is the only people you should listen to. Drowned in Tabasco. We love us some hot sauce here. In fact, that has been one of the hardest part of wisdom teeth surgery, is I wasn't allowed to eat hot sauce because it will irritate like the stitches and extraction sites. So it has been very hard going without hot sauce. Tabasco is okay. I'm not the biggest fan of Tabasco. I do like the Chipotle Tabasco. But my favorite hot sauce is Cholula. I do think Cholula makes the superior hot sauce. Love me some Cholula. As long as good hot sauce, in my opinion, is not about the heat. Like, there needs to be a little bit of kick and a little bit of heat to it, but all these people who do like the hot ones where it's just like as hot as possible but there's no flavor, that is a garbage hot sauce. It's gotta have flavor first, heat second. That being said, there is a hot sauce store near me that sells a hot sauce called the Purgatory sauce, and it's one of those you have to sign a waiver in order to eat the hot sauce. I'm sure it's overhyped. I'm sure it's not actually that bad, but I have considered maybe that should be our goal for like 10,000. If we can get 10,000 subs, maybe we'll eat the Purgatory sauce live on stream. You know what's really good? If you really love Tabasco, have you ever tried making a Tabasco coffee? If you get a really bitter black coffee and you put a couple dashes of Tabasco right into it, that makes a very, very delicious coffee experience. The Tabasco adds a little bit of heat and flavor, and it really complements the bitterness and removes a little bit of the bitterness of the coffee. So if you haven't tried it, hot sauce coffee, delicious. Definitely give it a go. There's not a single food that can't be improved with a little bit of hot sauce. That is my other That is my other unpopular opinion. Since we're wearing the unpopular opinion glasses, we will say it. I know people hate it. If you drink your coffee anything other than black, you do not enjoy coffee. You enjoy milkshakes or milk or sugar. Lattes are not coffee. Latte is a milk-based drink with coffee flavoring. If you prefer lattes, then you don't like coffee. If you have to go to Starbucks and you're ordering a caramel macchiato, that is not coffee. The acceptable ways to drink coffee is black or like a nitro cold brew black. That is the acceptable way to drink a coffee. Outside of that, we're getting into milkshake territory. And I know that people have been drinking lattes since basically the dawn of discovering coffees, but I feel very strongly about that. As in the CNC shop when I got my first cup, do it straight black ever since. Yes, there is something special about like my grandfather, God rest his soul, who's passed away now. He had like a Mr. Coffee drip coffee machine in his shop that had been out there for like 60 years that had never been cleaned once. The see-through coffee carafe was absolutely blackened with the crust of 1,000 years of coffee in it. That cup of coffee is going to be the best cup of coffee you've ever had in your life. That uncleaned Mr. Coffee drip coffee that has been in the coffee maker for 100 years. That will be a phenomenal cup of coffee that you will never experience. There's something magical about a drip feed Mr. Coffee. That's not to say like when people make like the artisanal espressos, like an artisanal espresso can definitely be a good experience as well. But I also absolutely hate watching the people who are hipster gatekeepy about it, where they're doing like a real cup of coffee, you need to take your $600 coffee aerator and you need to aerate the coffee for at least 30 seconds, and then you're going to need your $300 coffee grinder and you're going to need to set it to a 4.75 centimeter precision and then grind it for exactly 35 seconds. I can't stand that. Espresso's espresso. Like, it doesn't make a difference. I guarantee you that your average person is not going to be able to tell a difference between a $5 shot of espresso and a $700 artisanal shot of espresso. It's a good date drink. That is good advice, especially for all well, I was gonna say all the men in the chat, all men and women in the chat. Your first date should always be a coffee place. Men, I'm going to talk in general. I'm going to talk in generals here, but remember, these are the bad opinion glasses. So take it as you will. If your date insists that they will not go to coffee with you and that you have to go to a fancy restaurant for the first date, that person is showing you their true colors and you are dodging a bullet. Go ahead and don't go on that date. A perfectly good and acceptable first date is to go get a $5 cup of coffee. It gives you a chance to sit in a neutral, respectable territory and have a good conversation to learn if you are compatible with each other. There's no reason why you should have to spend $500 at a restaurant in order to have that same conversation. It's also way more low-key. What am I doing? So you are able to walk away at any point. Like, I know it's not socially acceptable, but it needs to be socially acceptable. Either party on a date should have the ability to leave at any time. Sorry, I had to listen for the beep. Like, a good date has the ability for any party at any time to say, you know what? we're not compatible. I'm walking away from this. This whole insistence of, well, we need to finish the date causes a lot of awkward situations and a lot of terrible moments. There is no requirement to finish the date. If you go on a date and it starts by the person sitting down and saying that before this date goes any further, I want you to know that you're going to be my woman, and we're gonna set some ground rules. You're not allowed to leave the house unless you're escorted by me. You're not allowed to have your own money, and you don't vibe with that. There's no reason to say, "Yep, we got to sit here for 2 hours and pretend like that we're gonna go." No, you can just say, "You know what? We're not compatible. Thank you for asking me out.
Request approved.
Goodbye."
Deploying reinforcements.
And it goes both ways, right? For the men too. If you sit down with a woman and you find out you're not compatible, if she says, "You know what? I only date men who are 6'5" and they need to make at least $500,000 because I am going to have my nails done every week and I have a certain level of luxury that I demand," and you say, "You know what? I don't want to deal with that." You should be able to say, "Thank you so much for the date. We're not compatible. Goodbye." Because here's the lie. There is no such thing as casual dating. Dating serves one purpose, and it ends one of two ways. Either you date and you get married, or you date and you break up. Those are the two options. There's no such thing as casual dating. All dating exists to figure out whether or not you're going to spend the rest of your life with that person. That is the purpose of dating. That is why it exists in its entirety. So don't be afraid to just cut it loose and say, "All right, we're dating to figure out if we're gonna get married. Those worldviews are not compatible with me, so have a nice life. Thank you. Goodbye." That is perfectly acceptable.
I got the terminal.
Freedom, triumphs over tyranny once more. The extraction shuttle awaits you.
If you're uncomfy, go to a construction site. Those guys can and will get hired with a criminal background and are looking to blow off some steam. I definitely understand that makes the conversation a little bit more difficult, right? Like when we're talking about the not all men, the would you rather go on a hike with a man or a bear, that whole conversation of like, it's hard to leave a date when there is a very real chance that man will turn into an absolute psycho and start stalking you. He might attack you. But also, like, yeah, you before meeting your date in person, you should know whether or not they are an absolute weirdo. But also, you have to be careful of, and I'm ashamed to admit this, but like when I was first dating Emmy, I lied a ton about things because I wanted to impress her. I wanted her to like me. And while I would never give that advice now, I do understand when you're meeting someone online and all that sort of thing, there is a chance that they are lying to you. And that is also a very real problem. Through my fault, through my most grievous fault. Don't do that, men. Don't lie to a girl to impress her. That is not the way to do it. That is not how you have a successful relationship. All right, Basic. Well, thanks for hanging out and chatting with me this morning. I appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Man, I am having a bad game here. I'm getting absolutely slaughtered. I'm not paying enough attention to the game. It's okay. We got 11 more reinforcements. That's okay.
Request approved. Reinforcements have been launched.
Reporting to the front.
All right, where am I? Okay, we're way back here. Are we gonna try this again? Are we gonna close this bug hole? Are we giving up on it? What are we doing here, guys? Whoa! That guy just leapt into hyperspace there. Who's trying to call reinforcements? We say no to that. Who is that comedian who did the nay nay? I'm pretty sure he's gone now. But I liked that comedian. Is that Ralphie May? He had some good bits. He was an overweight comic, and his whole shtick was always doing like the nay nay. I'm pretty sure his name was Ralphie. Yeah, Ralphie, he passed away. I'm pretty sure it's been a while now too. Didn't he pass away fairly long ago? Like it's been a hot minute.
Calling in reinforcements.
I think at least. You know who I was shocked to see? Jeff Dunham. Jeff Dunham has a tour going on in my area. I can't believe Jeff Dunham still finds work. Like, the last time I saw Jeff Dunham, he was doing the same jokes he had done on his YouTube channel 10 years before that. I can't imagine he's written any new material. Like, dude has been coasting on the same jokes for like 20 years now. Like, I don't know why people like Jeff Dunham. He tells the same like 10 jokes over and over and over again. I just the novelty wore off so fast. I would have liked to get to see Robin Williams live. I've heard that was an absolute treat. I'll never get to see Robin Williams live. I also think I would have liked to see Michael Jackson live. Like, I'm not a huge Michael Jackson fan. I stand by that he's got, like, 2 good songs. But I've heard that he's one heck of a performer. So I think that seeing his performance would have been good. But, like, I think Alien Ant Farm did Smooth Criminal better than Michael Jackson ever did it. Again, bad opinion glasses, so I guess I'm wearing them for a reason. But Alien Ant Farm's Smooth Criminal is an experience. I really fear with these bad opinion glasses, though, someday when we have a kid that they'll see me wearing them and my kid will want a pair of these, and I can't bring myself to put a pair of pit vipers on a child. That's basically child abuse. Like, let's be real. That is setting them up for failure. Alright, I think we're done. I think we cleared the map. I think we got it all done here. Dude leapt at me while on fire. The bravery. Also, I know there's only like 3 people watching right now, but have any of you seen Chernobyl? Like the miniseries, the HBO miniseries for Chernobyl? Because Emmy and I have talked about getting a HBO subscription for a month to watch that, because I've heard that it's so good that like it's like one of the best produced TV shows of all time. Has anyone actually watched that show? Like, can anyone actually vouch for that? Is it actually that good, or is it just a little overhyped? I do like to go to like the IMDb chart for like the top 100 TV shows and watch like Breaking Bad's up there. It always shocks me to see Avatar: The Last Airbender floats between like 7th and 15th, and like how incredible is that Avatar: The Last Airbender, a Nickelodeon kids TV show, is in the top 100 TV shows ever produced. Like, absolutely incredible work. I also need to watch Peaky Blinders. Emmy said I would like Peaky Blinders. I think I need to sit down and watch that. Oh, hello there.
Sending in an eagle.
Kablam!
Eagle 1 rearming. Be back shortly.
Oh boy, okay, I have no stims. There's a bunch of people coming my way. No grenades. I think we're dead here. Yep. I saw the future. And it was bleak.
Request approved. Reinforcements have been launched.
What made it the enemy? Throwing grenade.
Boom!
Requesting air support.
I'm putting together a video game list. There's my chase video games that I'm looking for to add to my collection. Number one video game I want to add to my collection is the King James Bible on Game Boy Color. You didn't know they put the Bible on Game Boy, and I feel like I need that in my life. So we're trying to find the King James Bible on Game Boy. We are also attempting to find Jade Cocoon 1 and 2 for PlayStation. Jade Cocoon, old monster hunting sort of game, very awesome. We want to add those to the collection. I would like to add a Game Boy camera to my collection. A Game Boy camera I think could be a lot of fun to play with as a photographer, so we want a Game Boy camera.
Dropping us in. Southeast. 100 meters.
However, I will not be adding anything because we got a vet bill today. Our poor little kitty needs his teeth cleaned and needs a tooth extracted. And that's $1,000. And here's what's messed up. I just had 3 of my teeth extracted for my wisdom teeth, and that was $100. So why is it $1,000 for my cat to have dental surgery and $100 for me? Like, but it also frustrates me because I know $1,000 is not chump change, right? $1,000 is a lot of money. And I know that there's people out there who would say, well, I can't afford that, so sorry, Mr. Kitty. You're just going to have to suffer with bad broken teeth for the rest of your life because I can't afford to fix it. And, like, it's so unfair to the animal, right? So we've been saving up for Italy. I've got the money in my savings. I will gladly give up my trip to Italy to make sure that my cat has a good quality of life. But $1,000 seems a little excessive. A little bit. Chernobyl was awesome. The show Task with Mark Ruffalo was good too. Wasn't Mark Ruffalo the Hulk?
Request approved. Deploying reinforcements.
Like that guy?
Joining the fray.
Hey, look at that. Look at that. I got one. I got a pop culture celebrity name right. Look at that. Put it on the board, Dex. Put it on the board. We got a celebrity correct.
For prosperity.
I think we're going to get an HBO subscription next. I want to see Chernobyl. There's probably a few good shows on there I haven't seen yet. There is no board. There is a board. There is a scoreboard. of how good that I do at celebrity names.
Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
Orbital inbound. Reporting to the front.
Well, that's twice now that my allies have blown me up. Stop spawning me in the blow-ups. What are y'all doing?
Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
Thank you. Speaking of the Hulk, I do want to watch the whole, like, what do you the Avengers saga, like the 30 movie saga. I want to watch that from start to finish. It's been a while. I'd like to watch through Endgame again. I will skip, though. I'm fairly certain I'll skip the Miss Marvel movies, Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is the absolute worst. And probably Ant-Man 2. Those two are probably the weakest links of movies. But like Iron Man, Spider-Man, Captain America, all those movies are super solid. Black Panther was pretty bad too. Couple of Thor movies. Now that I'm saying it out loud, you know, Captain Marvel, bad. Thor, bad. Black Panther, bad. Like, maybe the Avengers saga wasn't that good. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't want to watch that.
Grenade.
My head accounted for most of my deaths. I would say that friendly fire is probably half the deaths in the game. If not more for some people who squad up with people who are a little more trigger happy.
Pelican 1 landing sequence initiated. Watch where you're standing.
However, deaths don't matter, right? As long as you beat the mission, doesn't matter if it took 1 life or 100 lives. All that matters is that we make it out alive.
Reinforcement budget depleted.
For prosperity.
Hurry, M4, you've got 8 seconds. I pre-ordered, so McFarlane Toys made a Helldivers articulated action figure, and I pre-ordered 4 of them, and I'm going to make a red versus blue stop motion photography styled Helldivers series with my 4 new Helldivers. Hopefully they come soon. They're in pre-order now. They said they'll ship in May, so I'm guessing towards the end of the month we'll get those guys and we'll be able to start making some content. I'm very, very excited to get to play with them. Ooh, look at all those samples. We extracted with 60 samples. You know how many samples we got? 6, 7. I'm going to do both. I'm going to do comedy and serious. I'm going to have serious episodes and some serious lore building. I'm going to have some goofy episodes. Like I want to recreate, you know, in the training video where you have the 3 recruits in the back and they're trying to plant the flag and the bug. I want to recreate that, but instead of a bug, I'm going to use one of my Furbies. So I think I'll probably do that. You know, as a funny thing, I've got a super long Furby that I'm going to use as a Hive Lord. So that probably will be a little less serious. That's actually a great mod idea now that I think about it. Someone get on it. Someone make a mod for Helldivers where the Hive Lords are long Furbies. I feel like that is a good mod idea.
Allied destroyer has left squadron.
Someone make it happen. I wish Helldivers did more mods. I wish they would just give it over to the community and say, go and make as many mods as you want to. I definitely feel like we could we could get some really, really great stuff, like the orbital laser being Goku doing the Kamehameha wave. I think would be absolutely hilarious. I think that would be an absolutely excellent mod to have in the game. See, we need a missile silo. We need a spear. Where's our Brittany? That's a commando. There's a spear. We need that. EMS mortar. And there we go. Alright, this is the last mission. I gotta get out of my chair and stretch and make breakfast. So, last one. After having dental surgery, yawning and sneezing, the worst possible thing you can do. I've been fighting the sneezing so hard because I do not want to suffer in that way. All right, let's see what we got here. SOS beacon. Calling in an SOS. Grab our spear. Let's put up some missiles. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna shut that. And all right, we are ready. Okay, we've got a turret over there. And a Tesla tower. So we're not going to be dropping a napalm barrage to start with here. Let's get a good angle though. Let's climb up here. This is good. Good angle. Here we go. I love that detail. You can watch the super destroyers in orbit dropping like hell pods and lasers on people all the way across the map. It really helps with the immersion. It really sells you on the team effort of everyone's here fighting, taking over this planet at once. All right, here we go.
Bug tunnel breach. No mag.
That doesn't feel like burst fire. That feels like automatic fire.
Get some! Get some!
I thought burst would fire like a 3-round burst, not... I guess it is a burst, I guess. But it's not a burst, because I can still fire semi-automatic. That's weird, though. The burst on this is weird. Very weird. What just blew up? Who blew up what? And why? I keep feeling explosion, like the vibrations and controllers keep telling me that there's like a big dude crawling around, but it doesn't look like it. Alright, that's it. We killed all the bugs. Problem solved.
Falling down a sentry.
Calling down a sentry.
Hello there. How did you get up here? Alright, we're currently being barraged by EMS stuff, so we cannot move.
Orbital inbound.
Orbital barrage incoming.
can't reload either, apparently. And we just got Tesla'd. Thanks, Elon.
Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
Helldiver, reporting
I think I just blew up a forklift.
requesting equipment.
Let's grab a laser. Very cool. See if we can get our spear back. I think our spear is lost. We certainly can't get it while that's right there.
Support weapon.
Jump.
Calling down fortifications.
Allied destroyer joining squadron.
This really is like the worst mission type, though. Like, I know why people don't sign up for this mission and why people call it boring, because it can definitely feel boring to sit here for like 10 minutes waiting for something to happen.
Requesting advanced weaponry.
There we go. Spear finally was useful.
Requesting sentry.
They also need to buff the spear damage. There's no reason why a spear should occasionally take 2 shots to topple one of those dudes. Like, the spear should be a one-shot kill. They should nerf it back down so that it only carries 3 ammo, but it should be a one-shot kill. I want breakfast and don't know what to get. You should get a breakfast burrito. I think that would probably be best.
Drug tunnel breach.
Or an egg muffin. There is, even though my name is Waffles, it is very, very, very hard to beat a solid egg on toast, right? That is such an elite classic breakfast that is very hard to name a better breakfast than that. That's what you should do. Put some eggs on some toast.
Calling in reinforcements.
Request approved. Reinforcements have been launched.
Bonus says actually, well, it kind of depends. Some people consider eggs vegetarian, some people don't. You know, it's all vegan, vegetarian, all that sort of debate. So it could be a vegetarian breakfast depending on where you stand on that debate. King Burger King. I cannot recommend Burger King. I had such a terrible experience last time I went to Burger King, but Burger King they do Impossible Burgers, which is nice to have the option to have a fast food vegetarian burger. Watching while spraying democracy. Oh, you dive in as well? That is excellent. Going to White Castle. There are no White Castles in my entire state. The only way I can get White Castle is buying the terrible sliders that are pre-frozen in grocery stores. That is the only White Castle in my area. I would love if we need a White Castle in our area, but more than a White Castle in our area, I feel like we desperately need a Waffle House. I feel like my state is not complete without a Waffle House.
Down equipment.
I feel like White Castle survives like 90% based on that Harold and Kumar movie, right? Like I feel like that's the only reason people still talk about White Castle is because Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle is such a cult classic, good movie. And it is a good movie. I do think I am prepared to say Mike Judge is probably the most underrated filmmaker of all time. Beavis and Butthead, Idiocracy, Office Space. King of the Hill deserves a movie. We never got a King of the Hill. I feel like King of the Hill deserves a movie. As long as they don't make it a Peggy Hill focus. If they make a Peggy movie, I'll be very displeased. But I feel like King of the Hill is popular again. They made the King of the Hill WD-40. Like, I feel like now is the time to strike. The iron is hot. Give us King of the Hill, the movie.
Orbital barrage incoming. Stand clear.
If you're listening, Hollywood. Oh, we're dead. I did not mean to jump over that. Like, 0 big guys have spawned at all. Like, Spear has been mostly worthless to bring. I was expecting to get to fire off a few more shots, but I've only shot it like twice. That's why this mission is boring. It's why no one does this. But we need those medals, so... You know what else is a good movie I watched yesterday? Or the day before? Hacksaw Ridge. I feel like Hacksaw Ridge is highly underrated. One of the... like, it should be on par in discussions with Private Ryan. Like, that is how good Hacksaw Ridge is. Alright, we made it. We're done. Can I go make breakfast now?
Mission at 10 minutes remaining.
10 minutes remaining. One more rocket to launch. Never heard of Hacksaw Ridge. Hacksaw Ridge is based on a true story. And I know when people hear based on a true story, they feel like it's going to be overblown for Hollywood. They actually had to reduce his epic feats in the movie to make the movie more believable. It's about a Christian man who joined the army and refused to carry a weapon. He joined as a combat medic to save lives, but refused to shoot people. And if you read about that dude's life, holy cow, the things he accomplished and did in the middle of a war-torn zone are absolutely incredible. Like, there is a real argument that dude had God on his side and a guardian angel watching over him, because he went sicko mode in the war, as they say, as the kids say.
Democracy prevails once more.
And it's a great movie. Go watch it. It's on Netflix. Go watch it today. You can go watch it right now, Dex. All right, mission complete. We did 3 missions. We got all the medals. We have helped to liberate the planet. We have done our duty. Watching Temptation Island today. See, you'll watch that, but you won't watch the Christian dating show. Come on, Dex. Add it to the list. Also, a good thing about having wisdom tooth surgery, I have lost another pound. You know, having to eat less, slower, and more methodically has helped me with my weight loss. So maybe I just need to get some teeth pulled every time I want to lose some weight. All right, it is time for me to stand up and go get started with my day. So as always, let's end with our prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Our sound broke again? 1 second. Okay, that should be fixed. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Thank you, Lord, for this blessed day, and thank you for all that you do for us. Today we continue to pray for peace around the world. Help our politicians to make better decisions that guide the entire world to being closer to you and ending all the wars. We pray for all the people who are suffering, all the people who are suffering from mental illness, physical illness, the people who feel unwell, the people who feel lonely, the people who feel the world is suffering and torment. Lord, be with them. We pray for all the people who don't have enough food or water or shelter, whatever it is they're lacking. Lord, help them. We pray for all the victims of the hantavirus, this new outbreak ongoing. While I don't think it's going to be as bad as COVID, obviously any disease being spread, people being worried, people being nervous, Lord, help all those people and bring about an end to the spreading of the disease. And finally, as a special intention, as always, we pray for the souls in purgatory, the souls who have been forgotten, the souls who have no one left to pray for them. Lord, help them. All this we pray in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. All right, everyone. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Thank you for all the likes and subscribes and all that. I appreciate it. If you're new here, I stream on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 5 a.m. Pacific time, so I hope to catch you then. Otherwise, have a great weekend, and we'll see you again on Monday. Go and have a blessed day.